But I say it's not just about the retro reimagined for me. I like the look of the card games, the dice games. There's a game called Cornhole.
Brilliant, but the biggest problem with the Wii's, they didn't make enough. There was too much shovel crap, too much, cooking mama kind of stuff, and bloody sports titles and puzzle games, and just, family friendly stuff that doesn't interest me as a gamer personally.
YouTube the other night, and I actually watched some footage of actual real cornhole and watched people playing it, and I was hooked straight away. And I was like, wow, this is actually really cool, and I can totally see, if you compare it to the Wii Sports and the bowling, how this would actually work with an Amico controller, which I think is absolutely brilliant.
All people want when they're playing games is to sit there with a controller, with a console on, big TV, and just sit there and play your game. I don't be waggling shit around.
It's got really cool lights around the side. Now the lights aren't just cosmetic here, but they do, from what I understand from interviews, they actually do factor into how you play the games and how the console interacts with the player.
Just get rid of all the gimmicks and all the bullshit.
Now the controller itself is incredible. The controller has got a touchscreen, a gyroscope, an accelerometer, a speaker, a microphone. It's got a 64 positional disc, which also acts as a D-pad. It has physical home and shoulder buttons.
Just get rid of all the gimmicks and all the bullshit.
The idea is, the concept is, they have physical buttons, 4 physical individual buttons that you will attach to the touchscreen, and they will act like old school controllers basically. So you'll have the D-pad with the disc, and then you'll have 4 physical buttons which the touchscreen will react to. Now I'm absolutely fascinated by this.
I just want them to make a traditional controller.
But it's cool because it's a new idea, it's fresh, and I like the fact that they're trying these different things.
I just want them to make a traditional controller. Just get rid of all the gimmicks and all the bullshit.
It's a very simplistic game. You just got to basically swing the controller and throw the beanbag.
I don't be waggling shit around.
On top of the Intellivision games, there are also arcade classics like Asteroids, Pong, Missile Command. Then you've got games like Breakout. You've got Kung Fu Master, and the one that really got me at the beginning was R-Type is coming back to the Amico. They also have a brand new Earthworm Jim.
And actually start making games that are relevant and, come up to date with the rest of the bleeding gaming industry would be nice.
Ever since I heard about the Amico, I've been quite happy to have this console as a digital console. They then talked about the lights on the console. Now the console itself has 40 independent LED lights, and there are also 12 lights in the controller which are around the disc. Examples they gave, they could do a light show, maybe police lights on a birthday. They have a special thing going on with birthdays, so they could do a happy birthday light show.
Just get rid of all the gimmicks and all the bullshit.
Ever since I heard about the Amico, I've been quite happy to have this console as a digital console.
And I love that game, I thought it was awesome. It's a shame this is digital, because I won't be buying it. If it's on a disc, I'd give it a go because it looks great, but I ain't touching no digital crap.
And I'll just make it a digital console. Well, I feel that way. And if it was all fully digital, then I wouldn't even bother anyway. And then the second one is Cloudy Mountain, which is a game that I'm probably going to buy digital. If you watch me for a while, you know I'm not an indie guy. I don't really care for digital downloads, and indie games, they're not my thing. I feel disappointed as a long-time loyal Nintendo fan that ever since the N64 it seems to have gone down instead of going up, or at least plateauing and staying the same as it was in the SNES days. They just seem to have dropped off rapidly. The N64 was the beginning of the end, as far as I'm concerned. But you just get consoles that have a small amount of nice games now, instead of a console with a ton of games. But what can you do? The Switch for me is just the library's far too vast now. I'm very excited to play the MLB game, and also I'm hoping that we're going to get football or soccer, and also of course hockey games.
There was too much shovel crap, too much cooking mama kind of stuff, and bloody sports titles, and
that's all the people go on about now. They just bang on constantly about bloody 60 frames per second, 4K visuals, HDR, SSDs, fucking graphics cards, and everything's got to have the biggest amount of power in the world. It's like, I don't give a shit.
But yeah, Quantum Break is a game I've been fascinated by since it was announced at E3. It looks absolutely stunning. The demos are made, the graphics are just gorgeous. Man, it was amazing. You're going across the Golden Gate Bridge, the graphics were just ridiculous. There were sections in this demo where it looked like real life, it looked like a real video, it didn't look like a game, and I thought, Jesus, if this is what next gen's going to be like, I cannot wait. It was so impressive. The explosions, the graphics, the animations, just everything.
This is really cool because when you've got the controller in your hand, on the screen you can see the dice. You can shake the controller and see the dice moving around. I don't be waggling shit around. And then you throw it at the screen and the dice leave the controller and go onto the TV. Just get rid of all the gimmicks and all the bullshit. Got Sesame Street, Care Bears, by the way, great art style. And they were showing like crap like Disney and Sesame Street. And now the controller itself is incredible. The controller has got a touch screen. And that means there will probably be a touch screen on all future Nintendo home consoles. I hope to God there isn't. It's all about serious emotional stories and looking at the life experience and oh my God, we've got to look at emotions. Fuck that. I'm too much a fan of playing the modern interactive cinematic experience. That's what I like.